Yeah, every time I hit live, man, they start me and then they just mute me. Everything I say, you know what I'm saying? Everything I try to come and tell y'all, they just cut me off and mute me. Um, and understand they attitude like if you don't comply with our rules, or like, just say for an example, they said that, listen, we're going to detain anybody who ever talk about LGBTQ. We're going to detain anybody talk about the government. We're going to detain anybody talk about immigration. And it was one more thing that they said they're going to detain anybody talking about. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel as though, you know, I have an amendment, and my amendment is I have the right, you know what I'm saying, to speak what I feel like speaking and what I choose to speak. So therefore, you're not gonna put your neck down on me and tell me what I could say and when I could say it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a slave. You know what I'm saying? You don't have me in captives, or no, I'm not in bondage. And it's a shame that when you try to get a point across to people, you know what I'm saying, who you love, to your family ones, you know what I'm saying, and to people who you locked in and loyal to, they go ahead and they slash that or mute it, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna make a case against you, somebody told me, like, you better slow down. And I'm like, I don't got time to slow down. They like, because some things you be saying, they could come and pick you up and then detain you until. And I'm like, what's new? I didn't been through the system too many times. So therefore, it ain't nothing that they could do to me that could hurt me. You know what I'm saying? And if they was to kill me, one thing about it is I'm not scared to die. I don't fear death. Um, a lot of people fear death. That's why it's a lot of betrayal. A lot of people fear prison. That's why it's a lot of betrayal. You know what I'm saying? But when you get them loyal ones that's on your side that say, listen, I know if I don't do this, I know they gonna give me 30, 40 years in prison. So I'm going to turn on my right hand man. Or I know if I don't do this right here and sell this right here, I know they're going to off me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want either one or the other. So therefore, my right hand man who I grew up with, or even if they didn't have to grow up with, but you locked in with them, you know what I'm saying? You say, listen, y'all do what y'all want to do, you know what I'm saying? But listen, what y'all talking about, you know, I'm not on that right there. Or you say, okay, I tell you what, you give me half the money up front, you know what I'm saying, and I take care of the job, I give it back to you, and then I go to my peoples and I say, listen, this was going on, woo, 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 A, B, and C, you know what I'm saying? We ready to war, you know what I'm saying? Now, listen, I got my right hand with me, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go to war, you know? But these things that these people got going on now, you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to believe. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell nobody your business because, you know what I'm saying, niggas give you a hug, a kiss. You know what I'm saying? Nigga give you not a hug, a kiss, I mean a hug of death. You know what I'm saying? A female will give you a kiss of death. And it's a shame that people move like that these days. So that's why I don't play people too close, you know what I'm saying, and I don't play them too far, because I always got to keep my guard up, my eyes open, because it's a cruel world out here, man. And just because you saved, and and you look to Jehovah Yahweh to make sure you good, You know, you also got to remember the world that you living in. You know what I'm saying? And you be tempted any type of way you can. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just like me minding my business. I get out my car, somebody standing in the store. You know what I'm saying? I go in the store and dude called me an F nigga. You know, you know what that's gonna do to me. You know, even though I'm under the protection of Jehovah Yahweh, you know, but that don't mean that that flesh ain't gonna raise up, and that's gonna make me, you know, knowing and growing up and having that attitude, like I want what you want. You know what I'm saying? If it's a problem, I'm on what you want. You know what I'm saying? So what we doing? You know, if it ain't no problem, you know what I'm saying, we'd leave that alone right there. But, you know, it's a shame that when you try to give somebody the truth and you keep on pushing it and you keep on pushing it, you know, and they cutting it and they cutting it and they cutting it, you know what I'm saying, and they muting it, you know what I'm saying, that just shows you that they don't want to hear what they don't want people to hear what you have to say. And since they in control and they own it, you know what I'm saying, they can mute whoever they want. You know what I'm saying? So these the games that they playing with me right now. But it's all good though, you know, because you know, I understand we ain't playing checkers, we playing chess. You know what I'm saying? And this big boy league right here, you know, and the survival of the fittest. Uh, you know, anybody who I've ever dealt with, man, it is never no love lost. You know, it just might be, you know, we fell out of touch or we might stop talking for a while. But I can guarantee you, man, if you call on my name, you know what I'm saying, it ain't a time that I haven't never been there. When you called on my name, it ain't a time that I ever didn't show up. You know what I'm saying, on go. And that's on everything. You know what I'm saying? Always been like that. Still is like that. You know? Don't fool around with the nonsense. And don't play no games with nobody. I set my little kitten. And I get tired of her after a while. So I just want to let y'all know, man. Y'all stay up, man. You know, because these people out to try to kill us every which way they can. And I'm not just talking to our color people. I'm talking to white people too. Those in power. Trying to kill all of us. You know what I'm saying? So they not to only get color people attention. That's to get y'all attention too. If y'all don't have money and y'all don't have power, to them, y'all don't mean nothing. They're off you just like they off dude a couple of months ago, Kurt. They don't care. Killing somebody to them is nothing. So I just want to, you know, just come on, man, and just let y'all know, man, that it's getting rougher and rougher out here, man, and it's going to get even worse. You know what I'm saying, next year. So, man, y'all hold on tight. All praises to God, man, and I'll be able to get up there. If things don't hit the fan too hard, I'll be able to get up there and come up there next year, you know, and attend my cousin birthday, you know, because after that, who knows when, we'll ever get a chance to see each other. So, I'm going to take full advantage of that. If my cousin, he's still in Baltimore, I'm going to stop and check him out. You know what I'm saying? Make sure he good. You know what I'm saying? And do it like that. Make sure I make my rounds to everybody I love. And just keep on pushing, man. Keep on pushing, man. That's the only thing I know how to do, man. The only thing I know how to do is survive. I've been surviving. I've been surviving my whole life. I've been surviving my whole life, man. And that ain't no game. It really ain't. And I look back at my life starting off at 12 years old. 12, 13 years old. They wanted to give me 40 years. As a kid. For 9 armed robberies. But it is what it is. I'm still here. But you're a fighter, you'll make it, man. If you bend down and fall down, you ain't gonna make it in this world. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to be a fighter. You got to be a survivor. Would you rather be carried by 6 or be judged by 12? You ask yourself that question. And I'll leave it right there, man. I'm mad. I just want to come and holler at y'all to let y'all know what they doing to me on Facebook. Which that's creepy, right? Creepy, real creepy. But it's all good though, man. Y'all boys stay up. Y'all women stay up. Stay strong, man. Stay away from them drugs. You know what I'm saying? Don't drink too much, cause this ain't the time for it. 2025 running to 2026. You got to be sober, all the way sober, every day. So, man, I wish all of y'all love, peace, protection. You know what I'm saying? And y'all keep pushing. Alright? Alright, bet that up. I'm out, man. Y'all already know.